little bit more.
I might have to let it drop. Let it drop.
How you feeling, Will? How you feeling?
Easy
Something's on your
dub.
mind. Well,
Easy dub. Easy. One of the easiest wins I've ever witnessed. Never a doubt in my mind. Zero doubt in my mind, Steve. I'm feeling phenomenal. How you feeling?
lots of doubt was had over here, probably enough for both of us. Lots of questions, lots of concerns, lots of frustration. Might have flipped off a referee or two when my wife wasn't looking, might have screamed some things that I couldn't say in a church. I apologize for that, Lord. Please forgive me. All's fair in love in Detroit Lions football. But Will,
Respect it.
I know you're lying a little bit. I know you're lying a little bit. You had a little bit of worry. Let's be honest.
So here's the deal. First thing that I do want to say, being serious, what a ugly but tough, gritty win by the Detroit Lions. Steve, good football teams find a way to win those games. That's the bottom line. And there's a lot that we can talk about cleaning up. There's a lot that we can talk about needs to be better. But the first thing that I'm going to hang my hat on, and I'm going to try my best not to even get into that stuff till tomorrow. Right? Tonight for me is going to be about way to find a way to win that freaking game, and me tipping my hat to Jameis Winston, who just was a gunslinger. He was exactly who I thought he was. He's boom or bust, man. He's either throwing for 500 yards or he's throwing 4 interceptions for 49 yards. So we got the good side of Jameis Winston today. They threw everything at us that they could, trick plays, broken plays. It just wasn't enough, and I'm going to be proud of that, Steve. So hopefully that pulled you in, that perked you up. Hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better.
I don't think it does make me feel better. Well, I feel a little disrespect. We're giving kudos to Jameis Winston before we even mention our guy Jahmyr Gibbs, who had a career day today. Will,
It was
F
to be
Jameis
expected.
Winston. F Jameis Winston is all I have to say. I said it yesterday. We're either going to get Jameis Winston, who throws 176, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, or we're going to get this Jameis Winston. He was great. Hey, played like a number 1 pick, played like a Heisman Trophy winner, played like a national champion. That's what he's capable of. It also doesn't help when we can't pressure him at all. Clean jersey, pretty much a clean jersey today up until the very last play of the game, William, where Hutch, well, a lot of people were questioning today. I saw a lot of stuff in the crowd, hearing a lot of things. Where's Hutch? Is he even out there? And I'll be honest, I said it. I was a frustrated fan today, but I'd rather have a Hutch that shows up on the last play of the game to seal the deal than a Hutch that gets a sack in the first quarter. Like, it's just different, all right? Like the game, not great. I think he had 6 pressures or 6 QB hits. He had a couple pressures, a couple tackles for loss, but he had that sledgehammer that just slammed that door shut. Well, that's all that matters. But I don't even know where you want to begin when it comes to breaking down what we saw today. Well, if you want to start offense, defense, wherever you want to go, well, I'm with you.
I'll start off with the defense, because I feel like the offense is going to be the icing on the cake. It's going to be lots of good that we can talk about there. Not all good, but there was you made mention to it already, so we'll get to that. But defensively, I feel like obviously pass rush was an issue. You made mention of that. Some missed tackles, some missed sack opportunities was an issue, and I feel like crossers were an issue, and broken plays. The scramble drills on broken plays was also an issue with those tight ends, Theo Johnson and their other tight end. It gave us some trouble, man. But we found a way to get a stop in it once we needed it, and I definitely can respect that.
Well, we praised the defense the last few weeks. They looked great. Looked great against the Commanders. Looked great against the Eagles, even though we didn't win that one. Looked great against the Minnesota Vikings for the most part, but not a lot I liked today. Not a lot I liked at all. I didn't like the pass rush. I feel like we even got gashed a little bit in the run game, which is 122 total yards on the ground, 395 through the air, all combined with I don't know, Gunnar Ozlowski, William trick plays. I get it. Gunnar Ozlowski. What are we even talking about here? Just throwing dots at Jameis Winston. I understand. The Giants have nothing to lose. They're going to play free. They're going to play just emotionless. I'm not emotionless, like carefree football. Just, hey, guys, we're 2-9. Probably not going to make the playoffs. All right, let's go out and try to win a big one. Let's get us something that we can hang our hat in this year. Let's knock off one of the better teams in the NFC in the Detroit Lions. So I respect it. Nothing shocked me. I kind of wish I would have hinted at it yesterday that this is a team that's pretty much down and out. They're going to throw everything at us but the kitchen sink. They did today, and I even said this is a team that'll hang around. They might lose, but they're not getting blown out. They're losing just like they did today, like close nail biting games. They did it against the Packers, the Bears. Like they're just losing these close ones, and I don't know. We've seen this before from the Lions, where we're kind of on the other end of it. Where we're just kind of letting teams hang around. I think that's what the Giants did today. They let it hang around. We didn't look good early, and then we're still there. 10-point game. Never got more than that, but we were never out of it. We hung around, fought, found a way to get a win. That's all that matters.
Steve, sitting at Ford Field today, I told Emily, I looked at her when we were down 10, and I said, babe, bad football teams find a way to lose. They find a way to lose. And good football teams find a way to win. I think we're a good football team playing a bad football team, so don't fret. I feel like we find a way to win this football game. So that's why I'm kind of just taking solace from this victory. Sometimes you're gonna have games to where stuff just isn't going right. I did like moments defensively. I liked moments. I do feel like if Kirby Joseph is playing in this football game, it's a completely different game. Some of those balls that just hung up in the air, like Jameis threw a couple up, just lobbed him up and let his guys go run underneath him. And then some of those crossing patterns, I feel like Kirby playing center field back there, he's going to be able to sniff out some of those. He's going to be able to break on them. Think no disrespect to Harper, man. He's been playing some solid football in the replacement duties, but Kirby Joseph is a Pro Bowler and All Pro for a reason, man. He's the best safety in football to me for a reason. Best ball hawking safety, I'll say. Best free ball hawking safety in the game, but in football for a reason. And I think we just missed him today. If he's out there, I think this is a completely different football game. Some of those passes that were up in the air, hung up in the air for too long, I think we come home with those, man, and you might have got what you're ultimately looking for, that pick for a touchdown. So I think we missed Kirby Joseph. I'm not panicking. It just is what it is, man. It was ugly. It was grimy, but we found a way to get it done. Definitely going to take a deep dive into the film tonight or tomorrow, and we'll come back with something a little bit more educated and polished tomorrow. But just post game, how I'm feeling, did enough, man. Defense did enough. It wasn't pretty, but they did enough. One thing that I did notice, Steve, I don't know if you noticed it, but Talik Williams was out there for way more reps today, and I love to see it. I didn't get an opportunity to see how successful he was, but I did see him out there for a lot of reps, man. And I know we've been pondering where he's been. I thought maybe Roy Lopez kind of took some of his snaps and repetitions. I was excited to see Aleem out there at edge too. I only saw him out there at edge for one play, but he set a heck of an edge while he was out there. Absolutely loved what he did. So I'm interested to see if that's something that we'll see moving forward. But did you have an opportunity to catch any of Talik?
Mostly, I had my face in my hands saying prayers for the Detroit Lions to just pull this one out. So not a whole lot of looking. If I maybe a couple of these every now and then just to see what was going on. But let me ask you this, because you hinted at something that I was planning on asking. You said good football teams find a way to win. In your opinion, what was the one play where you said that's where the Giants just messed up? Was there one of those plays for you?
There was a couple. One that I would say, when we stalled them out and they didn't score a touchdown towards the end of the game, and they had to kick. After that, I would say when Jake. Oh, I sent you when Jake kicked the field goal. I believe I sent you GSM, and You said, what is that? I never even texted you
I
back. I
thought you said
forgot.
gonna shit. I thought that meant gonna shit myself. Like I don't know.
No, no, no. Game, set, match. I
Oh,
felt like,
that would
okay.
have taken a long way
I
for me
felt
to
like,
get there.
but I just felt like, hey, I looked over and told Emily, I said, hey, if this goes in, they lose. Like, they being the Giants. Like, if he nails this, they lose. And I already had it. I was like, this is a 58, 59 yarder. It's not a gimme. It's not automatic, but he's got more than enough leg for it. If he drills this thing, we're winning this football game. Like, I have zero doubt. I had a level of comfort just because we were running the ball as much as we wanted to. It was like no stopping our run game. And I felt like Gibbs was just close to breaking a long one, than even more runs than he had that he broke off. There was like probably five more that could have got busted open too, where he barely got tripped up. So I just felt like even though we were behind, we just looked like the better football team. The Giants just looked like that they had better momentum, and they had some things going for them today with the trick plays and stuff. But when you got to run trick plays, you got to do it for a reason. It's because your offense can't just march down the field comfortably. So for those reasons, Steve, I would say the kick was really what nailed it for me.
When for me, it was before that. It was the 4th and 2 stop at the goal line or 4-yard line inside the 5, wherever the Giants were. They went for it. Hey, you go up a touchdown, or I think it would have been 10 points at that point with roughly 2-3 minutes to play. That probably would have been ball game, because then you're counting on either kicking a field goal and hoping for a onside kick. So when they went for it, I think they probably should have kicked the field goal there. That was a moment. Instead of making the Lions only down 3, you could have made it a 6-point game and said, hey, we're going to kick it off to you. We're going to make you go the length of the field, probably 65 at least yards, and try to score a touchdown to beat us in a sort of 2-minute drill. When they went for it and they didn't get it, I said, all right, hey, we got a long way to go. We're inside our own 5, but we don't have to get a touchdown. All we got to do now is get a little bit north of the 50, let Jake Bates bang one in, go to overtime, seal this thing up. That's when I kind of knew. Going into overtime, I was confident. Like, I wasn't confident the whole game. I was like, man, a lot of things can happen. Like, and Jameis, I think he missed some throws, but I also think that he missed his receivers didn't help him on some big ones. Like, there was a play in overtime where I think they would have been like down near the 10-yard line, and who knows when you get in there. But that moment inside the 5 where they went for it, I feel like was kind of like, man, they're making us go a long way on this field, but we're starting to kind of click on offense. We're starting to get things going. We're having some big plays. We get down there, field goal range, wild clock management at the end, Will. Wild. I was just, my mind was in a pretzel with spiking the ball, stopping the clock, and then calling timeout while still huddled. I think we could have won it in regulation, honestly. So not sure what happened there. Don't really need to dive into it because we know the outcome, but that would have been a moment where I said, what the hell are we doing here, Dan? What are we doing? What was it?
So when actually what I thought happened was there was some type of personnel issue. Like, he called in the play and then he didn't have the proper personnel for the play. At a certain time, the communication between the QB and the coach cuts off, so it's on the QB completely. That's what I guessed happened initially, because I know Coach Campbell wasn't just an idiot. So, but he ended up talking about it at the podium, and the communication went wonky. Period, from him to Jared Goff. He said the communication died, and they were having a problem with the communication. They were having trouble getting the play in, so he had to burn the timeout, which was the right thing to do in that moment. You definitely don't just say, hey, you just run whatever. You know what I mean?
I feel like Jared Goff should have just been like, all right, I'm calling the play on this one. Like, do you trust him enough to do that? I mean, big moment, not a big game, but a big moment in the game. And if we save that time out, I think we could have won that one in regulation. Like, that's just a bad time to have communication problems. And if that's the case, I get it. I understand you don't want to take a delay a game. But after 15 seconds, when that thing cuts off, that's when Jared should probably went, all right, this is what we're running, call a 15-word play, get up there, let's go.
Yeah, it wasn't working from the jump the way, because he talked about it in the post game, and it didn't seem like it was working from the jump. They were having some type of issues with it or whatever. But I'll be honest, Jared is a veteran, and I could 100% understand trusting him to call the play. But if I'm Coach Campbell and I got something I want, like I got something that I feel like is going to work in that moment, then I'm going to run that. So I'm going to burn the timeout too.
I believe the next play was a 4-yard gain on a swing pass. Nothing crazy.
I get it. Check down.
Yeah.
check down swing, lived to get to overtime. He was trying to press it downfield, I thought, though. But we'll see. I'll dig into the tape and we'll see. But that's what he said at the post game. He said communications got wonky between him and Jared Goff. It wasn't working. They couldn't get it back going, so he just burned the timeout.
Let me ask you this, William. There was a conversation had in our section that if the Lions didn't win this game, season would have been over. Do you think that was the case at all?
Absolutely not. It was talked about in my section as well, and it was talked about as we were making our way back to the vehicle. There were people talking about that, like, man, I'm glad we pulled that out. If we didn't pull that out, man, it was over for us and whatever. I do understand that the Green Bay Packers won today and the Chicago Bears won today, but the season would not have been over for us. There's still a lot of football games left to play, and we're right there competing to win our division, man. So I don't think that this game would have completely taken us out of it. And I hope people are talking about statistically, because I hope they know statistically it wouldn't have taken us out of it. But I'm thinking they're talking about in the big picture, would we have been out? And I would say no, because this team is capable of putting together. We've seen it. 6-8 wins in a row. Like it's definitely more than possible for us to get hot and start taking care of business. It could have just pissed us off, Steve, because I would imagine that's exactly what media would have been saying. Hey, they lost to the 2-9, now 2-10 Giants. Like, this team's trash. They're overrated. Let's start getting ready for the draft or whatever. If players started hearing that, our players, I think it would do nothing but fire us up. So I don't think the season would have been over if we lost today, but we definitely would have been putting ourselves in a bad situation. How you feel?
Stats wise, no, we're not out of it. But my uncomfortability level would have been a little extreme, because when you look at the schedule, and I say the New York Giants should be a slam dunk. The wife and kid are just getting home. Dogs just, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, someone could be breaking in right now. I have no idea. Hopefully they spare me. I would have been uncomfortable with looking at the schedule going forward and saying, dang, like the Giants, any given Sunday, I get all that stuff. You never know who's going to show up or what's going to happen, but they should have been the easiest game on our schedule this year. And
Yeah.
you go into overtime with them. I can understand people thinking, well, if we can't beat the Giants, how are we going to beat the Packers, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Vikings again, who played us tough, the Bear? Like it would have been a bad look, and I understood. But if we ended up 6-5, not the end of the world, not the best situation to be in. But I do think, man, last year spoiled us. I think like 15-2. And I think people think that that's like the standard going forward. Like, do you know how hard it is to go 15-2? Do you know how hard it is to go 13-4? It is incredibly tough. Last year was a fluke between three teams essentially being two losses going into the final week of the year: the Vikings, the Lions, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, that is probably not ever going to happen again. And to have two of those teams in the same division, I think it really, really did spoil us, Will. Like, when I look at this schedule, and I think 11-6, 12-5 is where you got to get to. And each game you can get a win and just find a way to get to that hump, especially in our division where the last place team still has, what are they, they're still 4-7. Like, they're not done, but they need to pick it up. So it's tough, man. Last year, I think, ruined a lot of Lions fans. Like, 15-2, you had a franchise record in wins, and now I think people just think like that's a commonality. It's not. It's hard to win in the NFL, especially when the Lions have to play a first place schedule all of this year because of how well they did last year. So no, we would not have been eliminated by any means, but I can understand the concerns going forward a little bit.
You didn't go into the season expecting to get 17 wins?
If we win 13 and then 4 in the playoffs to win a Super Bowl, yes, that would have been the 17 wins.
I understand. Yeah, I respect it. No, I do agree, man. People are just kind of odd characters. When we were doing that 2-minute drill at the end of the game, I was explaining to Emily like just kind of my thought process of what's going on. Everybody in my section was screaming, "What are we doing? We gotta hurry up. This is crazy." Yada yada yada. I'm like, hey man, listen. So Emily was like, why is everybody saying we gotta hurry up? And I was like, babe, I don't know, but the last thing that I want to do is hurry up and score and then just give the ball back to them. Like we don't want that to happen. So don't listen to them. Sometimes, man, we just gotta got to take those people with a grain of salt and just shut your ears off.
Yeah, I was a little nervous after we tied it up because I looked at the clock and said there's like 30 some seconds. Yeah, 30 some seconds left roughly. Giants have all 3 timeouts. We're talking good kick return, first down. They got a plenty of chance to kick a game-winning field goal. Like that game was definitely interesting, especially in the fourth quarter and in overtime. But I think that last drive, even with them having the ball in a tie game, is when our defense said, "Hey, we played like shit all day. Let's go out there and try to steal one." And that's essentially what they did.
Yeah. Offensively, Steve, how you feeling other than Jahmyr Gibbs just doing whatever he wants?
It's just the same thing every week, Will. Like I'm never going to complain about a Lions win, but it's just the same thing where it's a 2-man show. I feel like it's St. Brown and it's Gibbs. Like our offense is going to be those two guys only. And I feel like when you go against the top of the top teams in the NFC, that's where we're going to really, really struggle and probably lose some games until we can find at a minimum one other guy who could step up and get open. Because I'm just seeing like it's just the same song and dance every week. It's St. Brown, Gibbs, and then Jameson Williams didn't touch the ball today. Like Brock Wright, a couple catches, like nothing crazy. 3 catches, 29 yards. Jameson Williams 0 on 3 targets. Tesla 0 on 1 target. It's just I don't know, Will. I think it's a bad recipe, but you know we're winning games and we're scoring 34 points. But I don't love what's happening.
How do you feel about the JMO drops? And I say drops in quotes because I feel like let me go first. I felt like one of them they tried to jam the ball in there, and he was double covered, and it was kind of a crazy like almost like I'm not gonna say a hospital ball, but he was about to get sandwiched even if he did catch that ball. Like it wasn't a good situation for a slender built guy, right? For one, 2 the other one that ended up being a drop, he didn't catch it clean. It looked like it got punched out or something jarred out by the hit, and it looked like he did scoop it up, but it was like for 1 yard. So why am I going to challenge it? Who cares? Whatever. Yeah. So I don't even think he necessarily dropped that one, but I don't feel like we got him in good situations to where he was catching the ball and running. Shoot, and I didn't hear people freaking out about St. Brown. St. Brown had one hit him in the mouth that he dropped today. Yeah. But I truly believe, I have no knock on him either, Steve, because I truly believe he's got that wrist thing going on. I think if that thing hits him in a certain spot, he's having problems because he don't even look like he's frustrated by it. He looks like okay.
And I've seen him real quick, Will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, sometimes it's hard. I speak sarcasm fluently, but when St. Brown had that drop, I literally had someone right behind me, or maybe 2 rows behind me, say, "Fuck St. Brown, he sucks."
It's like I had people doing the same thing. Like I had a guy yelling, "Cut him." So I'm like, what are we talking about?
That's it. Confirmed. St. Brown waivers tomorrow. We had a good run, baby.
What are we doing? Like, hey, where's that Lovett guy at? Let's get him in here. Like, what are we talking about? So
where's Titus Young when you need him?
People were killing me, man. So I'm just like, man, I don't want to give these guys any excuses, man, but I truly believe St. Brown's got that wrist thing going on. I think that it's causing him some issues, and then J-Mo wasn't putting it in the best of situations. So if the drops where guys are running free or wide open, hits them, and they're like looking before they secure the ball, those are the ones that just drive me crazy. But those weren't drops that I was worried about.
There's only one solution, Will. We have to get a couple shovels and go dig up the body of Charles Rogers. R.I.P. to a legend. Michigan State, great, but I think it's time to cut St. Brown and just go dig up the corpse and just put him out there. I think he'd do better. If I'm being honest with you, number 80 is still available, I believe. Why not just throw it on him? I think he'd look pretty good out there, broken collarbone and all, first week of the. I don't know. People are crazy, Will. People are absolutely crazy when it comes to Lions. And I think it just goes back to being spoiled. Like, do you not understand? St. Brown has been one of the best receivers the last 5 years. We're talking about a dude who's going into the Ring of Honor one day. He's right up there. Maybe not the same style as Calvin Johnson, but we're talking a top 5 wide receiver for the Detroit Lions of all time. And I'll tell you this, he's probably not 5 or 4. 1, 2, or 3, we could probably have an argument over 2 and 3. Herman Moore, I'm on Ross St. Brown. Megatron's number one. Obviously, I don't think anyone's dethroning him, but are we turning on him for some drops? Like, what are we doing, Will? What are we talking
I don't
about?
get it. I don't get it at all.
Spoiled.
Man.
We're spoiled. We're a spoiled fan base.
Yeah, 100%. But what do you think about this? My boy Jake, just nothing but ice in his veins, Steve. Nothing but ice in his
Wait,
veins.
put that back up. What is this?
Don't worry about it.
Did he
Don't-
miss the ball? What is that?
Don't worry about the rest of the graphics. Just worry about Jake.
I'll just one up you here, Will.
Real quick before we get off, I got a funny story, Steve. I got a funny story. I don't know if we'll cap this thing with this, but it was really good. So we're leaving the game, and all of a sudden there is pandemonium. People are screaming. I see people rushing to a certain area, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" So I'm kind of looking, and
Somebody's
I'm trying to
getting whooped.
posture. Yeah, I'm trying to posture like Emily in front of me so she can protect me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm safe.
Natural
You know what I mean?
shield. She's a good shield.
Absolutely. Yeah, human shield. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so I just don't want the subscribers to lose me. You know, I'm trying to look out for the subscribers. But anyways,
All about the
so
channel.
that's it, man. So as I'm looking, all of a sudden, Steve, I hear a lady go, "Oh my God, Coach Campbell," and I'm like, "What?" So then this is what I see. This is what I see. I don't know if you can see in the middle of this thing.
I'm trying
That
to
guy
think.
in the middle.
That can't really be him, though.
Yeah. Do you see him in the middle of this
Yeah,
thing?
it's a dead lookalike, but that ain't
Yeah.
him.
So so Emily is getting her phone out. Right. I look back at Emily because obviously, guys, before you guys came from me in the comments, she's behind me. I wouldn't really do that. But anyways, so I look back at her and she's got her phone out, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "They said that that's Coach Campbell," and I'm like,
He's still
"Babe,
shaking hands at the 50.
that's not Coach Campbell." Dude had a headset on. I'm like, why would he still have a headset on? Now, I will say, dude got up on us, and it looked dead like Coach Campbell. Like, it looked exactly like Coach Campbell. You had to be like, even when he got up on me, I was like, man, that's pretty doggone good. And he was huge, too. So, but he was slapping people 5. I watched a guy watch his wife shake her arm free of him to go grab him, and then goes, "Oh my God, he touched me. He touched me. I don't care. He touched me." And I was just like, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. So if anybody knows this guy, please reach out to us and tell him to reach out to us on
We'll bring him on tomorrow. We will bring him on.
Yeah, we will bring him on. Yeah. He is Steve, when I tell you, I wish I would have had a zoomed in picture because he is a dead lookalike of Coach Campbell. And this lady was crying because she got a chance to touch Coach Campbell. That's him. If you see the lady on her phone, and all of these people are like trying to slap him 5. If you see him, he's slapping him 5. And then the lady like taking pictures of him or whatever. Like, people were freaking out, Steve. It was the craziest thing that I've ever saw. Like, we need to book this guy.
It's crazy that Coach Campbell's probably the second most famous person in that vicinity. Like, people didn't recognize you. I don't understand what's going on here. Second, even in his. Go ahead.
I had my ski mask on and my shades.
Smart. Yeah. Was it the one you got from Chauncey Gardner
Chauncey Gardner Johnson? Yeah.
One of those
CD
ski
Deuce. Yeah. It was the one that I got from him.
Second, even in his playing days, Coach Campbell's not getting from the 50-yard line to the concourse that quick after a game, especially with the crowd. It takes me 20 minutes to get out of my seat to get up to the concourse. And Coach Campbell's starting at the 50 after shaking hands. Not a chance. But I'm sure that there are people who probably really thought that it is him. And
100%.
How did he not win that lookalike contest? Because I think the guy who won that lookalike contest a couple years ago didn't look anything like Dan Campbell. Like, maybe from afar, a little bit, like a quick glimpse, like, oh, yeah, no, okay. That guy, you had me fooled. I was thinking, is this AI? Is this AI technology that's going on here? Like, he's never done that. I don't think Coach is going into the concourse after beating a 2-9 team. But
absolutely not.
NFC Championship win at home, possibly not after the Giants. Anything else for tonight, Will?
No, I don't think that he makes it though anywhere. The moment he steps in there, it would be.
Yeah, interesting and golfed. My last thing. I'm not going to end the show on a negative note, but Amik Robertson. Didn't like what I seen today, Will. That's all. We'll probably save that for later unless you want to share your thoughts, but not a good game.
I want to share my thoughts after I watched the film because I did see some of the situations I think have an explanation. So, but I don't know that 100%. I'm not going to give him a freebie. I'm not going to give him a freebie because he's played great football for us. I'll give my true assessment tomorrow after I watch the tape.
I started really watching after the very first play for the New York Giants on offense when he bit on a very hard double move for a gain of like 20. And I started really watching. And then he was involved in some way with the first trick play touchdown. Got to dive into it a little bit more. But my natural instinct from watching what I saw live, didn't like it. Plenty of time to clean it up. He's been one of our most reliable players. Not going to beat it up too bad, but it wasn't his finest moment against the Giants today. Wan'Dale Robinson, career day.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
And I know he wasn't on him the whole time for every catch, but not a good look.
Yeah. Last thing I got, Steve, almost forgot. We do have a winner for a hat. I'll announce the winner on
the Spotify thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the Spotify hat. So yeah, we got a winner for the Spotify hat. If you guys forgot, the answer was spaghetti. I just love mentioning spaghetti now. It just makes me happy. Yeah, spaghetti.
Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.